June 25th, 2025, and I'm pretty excited about this, my milkweed garden. It doesn't look like much right now, but all of these have caught. They've all started growing. Many of them have started blooming, like this tuberosa right here. I've got green milkweed, antelope horns, and tuberosa. I put down at least 10,000 seeds. I got 2 that came up from seed, only 2, and maybe even just 1. I'm not sure if one of them is even a milkweed, but yeah, this whole garden has been irrigated, and it is here for the milkweed. I'm even going to relocate a lantana so that the milkweed have room to grow over here. I've tried for years to get the milkweed to grow, and this is a pollinator garden, so if the milkweed doesn't grow, it's kind of a failure. I think I've got holes here. I think what I'm going to do is move the remaining Mexican feathergrass into this bed. These guys have kind of just started going everywhere. I think I'm going to put them into that bed, and I think that'll be a good look, the milkweed and the feathergrass. Wow, have these mountain laurels got big. This is awesome. Exactly what I wanted. The thing's 12 feet tall now. It's been here for 10 years. This fig here, it seems every year some sort of contractor destroys it every year. So I might actually get a fig this year, maybe. I don't know. This fig's like 6 years old. I've never had a fig off it because it gets destroyed every year by a contractor. Mealy blue sage, still coming along, even though it's mid-June. We really have had an extended spring, and this is kind of one of the indicators of it. Something else that's really interesting is this mountain laurel has kind of a little curly Q bloom on it. And just look at the size of these. I don't know if the extended spring has allowed this mountain laurel to really come on, but these are all blooms. These are all next year's blooms right here. That's incredible. I've never seen a mountain laurel with blooms like that. So, really, really pleased with that. And, yeah, the mealy blue sage is also an indicator of the extended spring, just because it's still going. This thing here, this rock, is the best rock ever. People kept running over my yard. I couldn't grow anything right here because people kept running it over. So I put this rock here, and I'd have people knock on my door. Hey, Steve, I'm sorry, man. I hit your rock. I moved your rock. I'll move it back. I'm like, dude, don't worry about it. I'll move it. Well, turns out it was a great educator. This is like my finance teacher right here. I don't have to do anything. My finance teacher keeps telling them over and over and over. So it's good. It's been really good. This firecracker, I think it is, or fire esperanza, something like that. You know, there are a couple of months a year, a couple of weeks a year where there's nothing else blooming. Like in this whole yard, nothing else will be blooming. This thing's blooming and all of the pollinators are at it. So got a few of those in my garden. It's not the same in Houston. The timing doesn't work the same in Houston, but here it does. Lantana garden. Have to have one of these if you're going to have a pollinator garden. You know, at nighttime, this lantana garden is really alive. There's all kinds of things going on here at night. Small bugs going every which direction. More mealy blue. Sensitive briar. Gosh, I love this stuff. It was a real risk to make a sensitive briar garden. I still haven't quite figured out how I want to do it, but it is beautiful. The pollinators love it. There's one right in front of us showing off. And sensitive briar has a reflex. If you touch it, the leaves close. So I'm wondering if this bumblebee is going to touch that leaf that's touching the flower and then close it for us. That'd be pretty awesome. He's loading up, hey? I think I might have scared him. So the coolest thing about this is that the leaves will close if you touch them. See that? You can compare them versus the side I didn't touch and notice that those are closing. Really cool. And the puffs are kind of cool too. Zemexia, this stuff is never in full bloom, but it's always in bloom. So it's kind of just a good look. Its form, it just kind of hangs out. It's kind of a good look. More lantana. Except this lantana had a volunteer that gave me a great idea. This chili patine is growing between these lantanas. And it's literally like about a foot away from this lantana. So I think what happens is the lantana shields it from the sun during the summer. I mean, right now we've had an extended spring, so the chili patine's killing it. It hasn't had the summer sun yet. But once it gets the summer sun, I don't think it's going to grow quite like this. Anyway, just look at how it is growing. I mean, this is the awesomest chili patine I've ever seen. So I put several of them together in Houston. See if it works like that. This Mystic Spire Sage is the last one I've got. I think these are short-lived plants, I think is what it is. Because I used to have a shit ton of them, and then after about 3 to 5 years, they just die. So I think these are short-lived plants, and I've noticed that in Houston too, like 3 years maybe, and then they croak. So I'm not so sure that I'm going to keep these guys around. They're really pretty, but they're very short-lived. Anacostia orchid has literally gotten as big as I thought it would. My goodness. I measured it to the curb right here because I didn't want to have to trim it. And, I mean, it's getting pretty big. It's large and in charge there, that's for sure. It's a beautiful spring feature. And I like the form. It's almost like a willow. I really like the kind of draping form. Almost like a dome. Kind of cool. And then, of course, the Greg's Mistflower. The Greg's Mistflower is the pollinator attractor. What's been really strange this year is that we have not had any pollinators. Maybe because the climate is different. Like I'm hoping it's not because of a die-off. I'm hoping it's because the climate is different and they just didn't come this way this year. But one of the routes is through Austin, and typically this would be covered in butterflies, and there are none. Zero. There's zero butterflies here right now. If I don't have butterflies, nobody has butterflies. This is the pollinator garden for the city. I haven't seen one anywhere near this in our city. So the only pollinators I have here are bees. There seem to be a lot of bees this year, which is good. There are no other pollinators. Very interesting. Texas sage. This is the El Dorado Texas sage. It is really, really super silver, almost white. Love those flowers. This one is about full bloom right now. And it's gotten big too. There's a second one back there. You can kind of see it peeking over. This one fell over and has just kind of grown really wide. It hasn't grown very tall. But this one over here is getting big quick. And I think it has to compete with the Anacostia, but it's getting big quick. And I like these two together. This one here, all I did was bury a branch, and it grew. So perfect. Backside of the garden. This is the persimmon tree, the last one. All of the others have blown over in storms. Cut a persimmon trunk and mounted it in the ground in a bucket with sand and everything, and put it up there to just try and give it some brace. And I also cut off a bunch of weight. There was a thing going this way. I just whacked that off, and I needed a brace for it, obviously, but I just cut that off. This is where I keep brush until I get it hauled off. Rock yard, nursery, nursery, and the garden. Looks like we got a tomato today. Nice. It looks like we got a cherry too. Nice. Those will ripen nicely on the counter. So this is there's a lot going on in here this year. I have purple whole peas. There's purple whole pea. There's got to be 100 of them coming up. They're all over the place. Bush and normal variety. Watermelon here. And this is a volunteer. I have no idea what that is. It just came up, so I'll be interested to see what happens there. This is another watermelon here. I've got room for it, right? So why not? You can see all the peas sticking up over here. So many peas everywhere. So that's wonderful. This will be just a big pea thing. I love purple whole peas. To attract pollinators to the garden, got a passion vine here. This is a Passiflora foetida. Beautiful, beautiful flower, like they all do. And this one's native to Texas. Again, no butterflies. This should be covered with butterflies. I've seen a few, maybe 5. There are no butterflies this year. There's hardly any pollinators. No migratory pollinators. The sunflowers. The neighbors complained about the sunflowers one year, so I just moved them to the back of the garden. I had them featured in the front yard, but they were kind of hiding. You could still see them, but anyway, people thought they looked like weeds. A weed is whatever. All of this is a weed. All of these things are weeds. That pepper right here, these 2 jalapeno peppers, those are weeds for some people. I mean, a weed is whatever you make it. So whatever. This is a pollinator garden. For a pollinator garden, if you don't have an aster, then there's going to be about a 3-week period in the spring where you're not going to have anything in your yard because nothing's blooming. It's a really awkward period. And the aster is the only thing blooming. The Greg's Mistflower and this are my 2 biggest asters. And let me tell you, on a typical year, this is just covered in pollinators. This year, it's just local, like bees and stuff like that. I think this thing here, this pineapple guava, is on its way out. And I've got a couple of small persimmon trees growing here. Might just leave those and let the next owner have fun with this little spot here. Also have a bee house up there, carpenter bees. I need to make some more of those, to be honest with you. That would be super awesome. What else? Garlic chives. Yeah, garlic chives. Garlic chives. I love my garlic chives. And tomatoes. Got a bunch of tomatoes. I only bought 3 tomatoes this year, and I ended up with 5. I had 2 volunteers. One of them, well, this is one right here. I have no idea what that is. It's a volunteer, though. And then I planted 1 cherry. I think the other one that came up is a cherry, too. And, yeah, so really interesting. Great garden this year. Shauna got an olive tree, so that's what we got here. Don't know what we're going to do with that yet, but got an olive tree. And, yeah, there's stuff coming up all over. There's carrots coming up over here, and, I mean, it just looks great. All right, that's the side yard.